In poor areas of Africa, poor people can only eat bat meat. On this day, the old man bought a bloody bat, but he didn't know that the bat was carrying the deadly Ebola virus. He rubbed his eyes inadvertently. This inadvertent action allowed the terrible virus to quietly invade his body. A few days later, when Grandpa returned home, he began to have a high fever and fatigue. At first, the family did not realize that this was a sign of viral infection. It was not until the condition worsened sharply and Grandpa vomited blood that the mother realized the seriousness of the situation and hurriedly asked the children to ask a doctor. Grandpa had no vital signs. Based on the symptoms, the doctor quickly diagnosed that Grandpa was infected with the Ebola virus and solemnly warned everyone not to touch Grandpa's body. She explained that the virus comes from animals and can be transmitted through sweat, tears, snot, saliva, vomit, and blood. Once in contact with these body fluids, the virus will invade the human body through tiny wounds on the skin and cause infection. In addition, the remains infected with the Ebola virus are also highly contagious and cannot be easily touched by anyone. Under the strict supervision of the doctor, the child's family repeatedly washed their hands with soap, and the grandfather's body was safely handled by a professional epidemic prevention team, and the entire room was fully disinfected. Afterwards, the body was sealed and lifted into the car, and all the grandfather's belongings were burned to completely block the spread of the virus. Because the child's family had close contact with the grandfather, they need to be isolated at home, and medical staff will come to take their temperature every day. Because after being infected with the Ebola virus, symptoms usually appear within 3 weeks. Just as the quarantine period was about to end, the child's mother suddenly had a high fever that did not subside, and the symptoms were exactly the same as her grandfather's. The little boy was anxious, but remembering the doctor's advice, he did not touch his mother. After the father came home and learned about the situation, he was worried that his wife would be rejected by the villagers, so he planned to take his mother out to hide for a few days. At this time, the young son bravely stepped forward, using his thin body to block his parents, and insisted that his mother receive formal medical treatment. In the end, under the boy's insistence, his mother was sent to the hospital in time for professional examination and treatment. During the quarantine treatment, the child could only keep in touch with his mother by phone. Under the careful treatment of medical staff, the mother's condition gradually improved, and she was finally discharged from the hospital. The family can finally hug each other tightly without any scruples. If you encounter a similar situation, will you do the same as the little boy?